Hey, with the Zacchaeus, with another live word of the day. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. If you're coming in for the first time, I thank you. If you've been consistently supporting me, I thank you as well. Well, in today's episode, I entitled this Be Careful Who You Allow In Your House. Be careful who you allow in your apartment. Be careful who you allow in your house. Now, how I was inspired to do a video like this. Have a friend that a brother that's basically has somebody there that's overstayed their time and causing chaos in his house. And it was a big mistake allowing this person in the house. And now, because of rules and regulations, he got to stay. Now, I didn't notice that if a person stays after 30 days, they're allowed to claim residency. Now they're like considered permanent residents, or they're allowed to claim residency. Didn't know that. You don't have to experience it. You can learn from other people's experience. That was a saying that I always heard that saying, but it's true. Now, me and my wife, we're a big advocate of not allowing people to come in. We can maybe stay for a day, but to come in and stay permanent, nah, cause you never know who you allow, what kind of spirit you're letting in. You don't know. You may know them for a long time. You may know them for a very long time, but you don't know what you're allowing in your house to disturb your peace. Well, I'm gonna get into this detail. I'm gonna read this detail because I didn't know. I had to look it up. He told me about it. Good friend, big up to Ray, told me about it, and didn't know that this was a rule. Did not know. And yes, a person is allowed in many jurisdictions a guest who stays over 30 consecutive days or sometimes fewer, such as 14 days, can establish residency or tenant at will status, making it necessary to use formal legal eviction procedures. To remove them, law vary, but 30 days is a common threshold for establishing legal residency. Did not know that. He just shared that with me, and he found out the rough way. And it's true. If you invite people into your house, let's say they're in a situation or they have no place to stay, and you allow them into your house to say, you know what, you can stay a few days. If they stay after, according to this article, if they stay after 30 days, or even 14 to 30 days, they are allowed to claim residency. In other words, you'll have a tough time. If you want them out, you'll have a tough time kicking them out. And just like my friend is having a tough time kicking this person out. It's crazy, it's a family member, but doesn't matter who it is. It could be a friend, an old friend that you haven't seen in years, but now he's different. People change. And it can cause chaos in your place of peace. And it could be from a family member that's not so great. That's a person that is rude, disrespectful, a person that interrupts your peace. It causes chaos in your place of residency. And now you're trying to get them out or kick them out. They can establish residency. So before you allow to be kind-hearted and get emotional, listen to their sob story, please take heed to this that I'm sharing today. Please. And don't get trapped into the same mistake. When you allow somebody in, make sure that you establish. Yeah, you only staying for 5 days. You only, I'm sorry, but you can only stay for 2 days, 4 days until you get yourself together. Do it. Do it. Or just try to find another resource for them to help them. But you, but if you could avoid allowing them into your house, do it, because you just never know that you could be letting the very devil into your house.
When you allow the wrong people in your house, some things come up missing, like faith, hope, love, joy, peace. Yes, people steal those things too.
And yes, Angie Goline is right. You're worried about if they're stealing material things, but they can actually steal your peace, cause interruption in your life, cause chaos in your life, cause a turbulence in your life. And once they're in, it's hard to get them out. Hard to get them out because now they say they have a place of residency. So once you open that portal and let them in, it's hard to get them out. So only the power of God can get them out, because they already have a spirit of complacency, and they're not leaving. They're not, and they're gonna fight you to leave. This is why it's not good to let people come and let anybody come in. Because, like I said before, you don't know what spirit you're letting in. You could be letting in a wicked spirit. You could be letting in a person that's not right, that causes interruption and confusion in your home, all because you was trying to be nice. But the Bible says, be wise in these times. Be wise in these times. Lord, I pray for wisdom. I pray for wisdom. Yeah, you may want that person to fix something for you, or want that person to help you with something. But guess what? Not everything free is good. And sometimes you just gotta put out some money just so you can preserve your peace of mind. When you put out some money, you pay for contractors to help you, whatever you need to get fixed in the house, that's better, because at least they'll leave, they do their job, and they leave. They leave. You pay them the money, they do the job, and they leave. But when you inviting somebody in, and you made some kind of deal with them for them to stay, you think it's gonna be easy getting them out? I don't think so, because once they're comfortable, they have a spirit of complacency. You're gonna have to fight tooth and nail just to get them out, and it's not easy. It's not easy. This is why we gotta always do pros and cons of everything, of a lot of things. Do pros and cons. Why? Because you can always compare the positive to the negative. What if? And you heard people complain about it. I hear people complain about it, like listen, my girlfriend was struggling, and I'm married, and me, my husband, and my kids, and my girlfriend was struggling, and she was trying to get her. She just went through a hard time, and she's in a back is against the wall, and she's financially struggling. But I just let her in, just so she can, because out of the kindness of my heart, I let her in. But that kindness can backfire on you. She can be eventually creeping with your husband. And you hear that. You hear that. Don't let them in. Don't listen. I'll give you some resources to go find. I'll even help you. But you are not coming in my house. I'll help you. I'll give you a plate of food, but or even give you some money if you ask for it. Some money if you ask for it. But I am not allowing you to stay with me, because once that Pandora box open, it's hard to shut. So we gotta be mindful and careful of who we allow in our chambers, who we allow in our personal space. And you never know who's coming knocking on your door. It could be your worst nightmare yet. Be careful of sob stories just so that you can get emotionally wooed, and then you allow the enemy to come in.
People move into your house. If you live alone, especially if you are married or in a relationship, do not let people move into your house. Family, friends, whoever it may be. I get it. The story may be so sad. You may love this person. You may grew up with this person. But don't let people move into your house. It never ends well. And a lot of times they give you a time frame of how long they'll be there. Say I'm gonna be there for a month. It's never a month. It's never a week. It's never 2 weeks. It's always double or triple that amount of time. Do not let people move into your house. They get too comfortable. They get too complacent because you let them move in and they feel like they can do certain things that you may not like. And then also, there's nothing like having your privacy as an adult. I value my privacy. I value being able to walk into my house and if I want to get butt naked, I can do it and there ain't nobody there that I gotta cover up in front of. Wifey there, and she done seen everything already. I ain't gotta cover up nothing. But now you here, and I gotta throw on a robe. I gotta do this. I gotta. No, I don't want you there. And it's nothing personal. I just simply don't want you in my personal space.
So I cut hairs is just right. Yeah. Listen, you're comfortable. You're in your own space, and certain things when you have guests over, certain things you just cannot do. Like what you and your wife do, and you share intimacy everywhere and in the house, if you know what I mean. And certain things you can't do. Can't walk around a certain way. You can't if listen. It's just when you allow people to come into your house, certain freedoms you got to give up. Um, can't play your music loud. You can't do certain things. You can't. Gotta be if you're sleeping. You gotta walk. It's a lot of things on discomfort when you have people living in your house with you. Now, here's to reassure what I was saying earlier about not not being able to just kick them out. Just if they say after 30 days, tenant fights after roughly third tenants rights, excuse me, tenants rights after roughly 30 days, guess me, require tenant rights, meaning you cannot simply kick them out or change the looks of without going through a legal eviction process. It's crazy. Did not know. Thank God my friend told me this. Factors are residency beyond just time. Other indications of residency include receiving mail at your address, contributing to rent, or keeping significant belongings there. Now, I may say he's keeping significant belongings there, yes, but does he? They ain't gotta pay no rent, so you gotta feed an extra, got an extra mouth to feed. Especially if you have kids, you don't want to do it because if that person decides they're not working, they come to in your place, they have the rights to stay there. After 30 days, they have the full rights to stay there, and they don't have to contribute financially. So now you got an extra mouth to feed. So my suggestion is just don't do it. If you could avoid it, if you could give them another resource and say, listen, I don't allow people to come into my house and just be here. Or I know your family. Listen, I my space is pretty small. I don't have enough. I have kids here, wife here, or all my family members, all my family have their own rooms. They don't want to be squeezed with each other. They don't like that. Um, I don't like it because now you got to alter the kids' rooms to cater to them. If you don't have a spare room, you got to cater. You got to alternate yourself and build around them, and that's not cool. You love your space, so if you can give them a resource to say, listen, I'm homeless, or listen, there's a program for homeless. There's a program for certain for apartments. You can just sign them up, get them in an apartment. Sign it. So no, it's not easy as it's some, but they need to get into those special programs because rent is expensive out of this world. So, and they have shelters now. It's not like the shelters back in the 80s. They do have shelters where they look like a right. They look today. The shelters look like apartments. Yeah. These days we gotta use wisdom. We gotta pray for wisdom. Ask God to guide us. Like I said before, the best strategy to use in this situation is the pros and cons. What's the pros in this? Which I don't see very minimal pros, but there's huge. There's a lot of red flags and cons, and allowing someone to come into your home, and this, and you just never know how it's gonna turn out. And now you know living with this all new person that's coming into your family. That's a stranger. Not and sometimes that can't even be strangers. It could be your own family members, friends, and family. Um, Coming into your space of rest, and that can break the friendship. It could cause chaos, or it can cause confusion because that person has a different spirit than you. You may do it for kindness, and you may just don't want to see that person out in the cold, but you do it just to the kindness of your heart. But and the way how you can do it is find them, help them to find resources to help them out to get off the street or find them a place to stay, but to allow them to come live with you. If it's a different story altogether. Now the live word today is coming out of Hosea 4:6, chapter 4, verses 6. For lack of knowledge, my people shall perish. You don't have to experience it yourself, but you can learn from other people's mistakes, other people's experiences. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings. Until next time.